Hello everyone, it's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm trying out something new with this video, and it's a weekend review with the Wasteland reviewer. And what I was hoping to do is kind of looking at all the different kinds of things that I watch over the week that aren't in theater kinds of films that I do full-length reviews on my channel for. And trying to talk about it, maybe throw out some recommendations, and I kind of structured things into a couple different categories. So the films that I stream, because I have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and HBO, and Hoopla, and the different kinds of streaming sites that I have available that I'll watch something on. I also still subscribe to Netflix DVD, and you've probably seen that potentially if you've looked at my Instagram. I post about watching those films, getting them in the mail. Usually get around 2 of those a week. And then the shows that I watch, and really on the tube, those shows that are presently going week to week that I actually tune in each week and watch a new episode and give a quick thoughts on those. And then what I'm binging, which are the shows that I throw on when I have some time, and those are the things I watch straight through. So getting started with the streaming films that I've watched over the past week, I watched Screwball, which is a documentary on Netflix, and it's about the juicing gate in baseball, centered around Manny Ramirez and Alex Rodriguez. And this is such a fun, interesting story, especially because they have little kids acting out what's going on. And not only is the story very intriguing, especially if you're a baseball fan like myself. If you're a baseball fan, you have to watch this. This is an amazing documentary. But it's so much fun in how they executed it. So that's something I would definitely recommend. Check out Screwball on Netflix. I also watched Evelyn, and this is a documentary also on Netflix about a family mourning the loss of one of their own years later and going on this walking journey and reflecting. And it is an emotionally testing and heavy documentary, but it's so worth it, and it's such an interesting look at grief. And it's a beautiful film, and it's really intimate. And you really get to know this family and really feel for them. And that's something that'll blow you away. That's also on Netflix. I watched The Laundromat yesterday. That got released this Friday on Netflix. And it's from Steven Soderbergh, who's a great auteur director. And this is probably my least favorite film of his that I've probably watched. And it just feels like a hot mess. It's overly preachy and so on the nose, and it really wastes entertaining performances from Antonio Banderas and Gary Oldman. And if there's stretches of time for 10 minutes where it's just going over these little vignette stories that it's like, why? And they're so thinly drawn together, it feels like an anthology film, but a film not trying to be an anthology film. Wouldn't really recommend The Laundromat. And then I watched Wounds on Hulu this morning, and Armie Hammer's great. There's a lot of great tension and some really creepy moments, but it does fall into your standard tropes of horror films, and it could have been better. And it's not the most unique film, but Armie Hammer really makes it worth even giving it a watch. It's not a long film, so why not? It's there on Hulu, especially if you enjoy horror films. So those are what I've streamed this week. The one Netflix DVD that I did get a chance to watch this week, I'm in the progress of watching, White Boy Rick, so I'll talk about that next week, but is Bright Star. And this is a period piece love story, and it's melodramatic, and if you love those kinds of things, you love those kinds of things. But it has Mark Bandanakowitz from Parks and Rec, and he was really distracting and took me out of the movie a lot, but Abbie Cornish was really good in it, and if you're really into those kinds of period pieces, it's something to give a chance. It's a beautifully made film, and Jane Champion, who's made The Piano, amazing film, she brings some life into this film, and besides a really distracting performance, it's a fine film. I enjoyed it, so why not give it a chance? I watched it on Netflix DVD, so if you have that, throw it on your queue. If not, good luck finding it. Not sure. I'm pretty sure it's not streaming anywhere, because if it was, then it wouldn't be on my Netflix DVD queue. Getting into the shows that are live right now that I've been enjoying watching, The Righteous Gemstones, I got to watch the season finale this past Sunday, and I love that show. Go check it out on HBO, watch that first season. The pilot episode was a bit of a mixed bag for me, but it really hit its stride as the show went on, and they're crazy characters, great performances. Personal favorites are definitely John Goodman and Walton Goggins. They really steal the show. They're great performances. It's a crazy show, and it was a very interesting finale and came to a very poignant end and put all the characters in interesting places to see where Season 2 goes. So I'm excited for a second season of The Righteous Gemstones. Bob's Burgers, watch it with my girlfriend, Season 10, Episode 3. And it's a fun Bob-Tina episode, and it's a lot of fun dealing with, like, really mean girls in, like, a Girl Scout troop, having a boat race, and then you have Linda with Jean and Louise going off on their own little thing, and it was a fun episode. I really enjoyed Bob and Tina's back and forth because Bob's like the normal person and Tina's so awkward, their interactions and everything. And there's some heartfelt moments that I really appreciated about it. This season's really been giving Bob a chance to get a little extra time with the kids. He had an episode with Jean too. And I'm really enjoying the season so far. It feels old school, great Bob's Burgers. The Good Place shook things up again because that's what this show does, and it's absolutely amazing. And this episode was tense, it was intriguing, and it had some interesting things for each of our main characters to do. And had some fun, interesting twists and sets up an extremely intriguing episode. So if you haven't caught up yet, catch up this season so you could check that out Thursday. I usually watch it with my girlfriend over the weekend when I get to see her, maybe Friday or Saturday. Got to watch it this weekend, and it was a great episode. I'm super excited for this week coming. And then My Hero Academia, Season 4, Episode 2. The first episode was like a fun, nice kind of episode, an easy way to get back into the season. But the beginning of this episode got real dark real quick with some of the villains and some intriguing shifts in terms of the League of Villains in this show, and then opening up a new door for our main character in the show and trying to get hands-on work and meeting All Might's former sidekick and opening the door for some crazy things to come. So I'm looking forward to seeing that next weekend as well. That premieres on Saturday nights on Funimation. Now binging. I got Nick Hits on Amazon, so I'm kind of cycling through a bunch of my old favorites, and The Fairly OddParents was that, and Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius were two of my favorites by far. And they combined seasons 1 and 2 for The Fairly OddParents, and it was so great. Timmy's dad's amazing. One of my favorite characters, Jordan Von Strangle. Absolutely love him. He's great. And it just brought back a lot of great memories. So if you want to go trip down memory lane, try out Nick Hits. It's like $6 a month and you get all those 90s Nickelodeon shows and early 2000 shows. And if not, if you haven't seen Fairly OddParents, bet it's better than all the animated shows that they have for kids now. Super biased. But I binged through the first season of Fleabag on Amazon Prime and absolutely love that show. And, crap. Try to do this one without notes. And the main actress and creative mind behind this show, Phoebe, she's amazing. She's hilarious. The fourth wall breaking is so great, and she has such amazing comedic timing and so unabashedly funny. And this show goes places and hits some really emotional places. And I'm really looking forward to cycling back around to get to Season 2 because I've heard amazing things about Season 2. Forever, I watched the first 2 episodes so far. I also found out that there's only 1 season of this. It got canceled. Also on Amazon. And Fred Armisen and Maya Rudolph play this couple, and this first episode's a very intriguing setup to a show that just flips you on your head. And you're just there, like, here's the rest of the show. And after that second episode, I'm really intrigued to see what happens and what they do with the rest of this season that they made, because it's a very different kind of pull into a show with, like, that one episode really setting up something and then bam! And now for something completely different. And I got my table and everything. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is Living with Yourself, which premiered this Friday on Netflix. And what's better than Paul Rudd? 2 Paul Rudds. That's what's better. And this is some crazy sci-fi cloning shit. And this show just feels like one non-stop movie, just split into parts with a non-linear narrative that keeps pulling back layers and is so intriguing. He's great. I absolutely love this show so far, and I'm really looking forward to seeing... I only have 1 episode left, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how the season wraps up, but it's intriguing, it has twists and turns, and crazy fun with impersonating each other when you have a clone, and crazy shit like that. But I hope you all find this interesting, a weekend review with your Wasteland reviewer. I'm going to try this out, and if people watch this, we'll see if I keep doing this. But, tune in. Thank you as always for your support. Comment about any of the things that I talked about, and if you want a little more detail, I'd love to have a conversation about any of these shows or films, and let's talk some movies and TV. But thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland reviewer.